Also, Urash says, Salaki, sir, can I get a breakdown of 1 Timothy chapter 5, 9 through 11? I wanted to know what a widow is in this context. What is the number, and why can't this widow be taken into the number?
1 Timothy 5, verses 9 through 11. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of for good works, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she have relieved the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work.
Go ahead.
But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
Okay, I think I remember now. What's he under the stuff? 11. 9 to 11. Okay. Right. So now he's saying, if you're gonna take a sister into the number is more so talking about like into the school, but she ain't just a sister in the school. She function in the school like a brother, not with authority, but in terms of she got duties. Like this is a sister that, you know, oh, you need this, so-and-so. Yeah, go see her. She keep the books on this. Let her know I send you. Like somebody who's functioning alongside the brothers, not in rank, but in service. You get the point? So he's saying, don't take no woman who is under 80 years old to do this job. 80 is what? 60, right? This is, you know, this to work in this capacity, you got to have some experience under you. And you have to be void of folly. So Paul is trying to put it to him. Don't take a widow, because of course, if she's a widow, she doesn't have a husband. So she doesn't have a man who she directly serves, which means she has more, I don't want to say free. She's more available. So what? That's you help him out here. I try not to say free. I'm trying to help the sisters. They are free. Yeah, I'm free to do this. No, you're not. You ain't free to do nothing but cook, clean. Go ahead. I need them to bring back ringtones. I'm trying them when they're gonna be ringing for all the ribs. I cook. Hello, Shalom. Right. So he's saying, if this is a sister, she don't have a husband, she's more available, she's a little bit older, her kids gonna be older, she ain't tired with different things. Remember, Paul also said it, I think it's Hebrews or 1 Corinthians 7, where a married woman she's concerned with the affairs of the marriage, just like a married man. But somebody who is free, who is available, they'll go to fucking free again. They're available, they're concerned with the affairs of the Lord. You get the point? So now she's at that stage now where she could really focus in and help the brothers. So he's saying, don't take her into the number, meaning into the service along with the brothers. Again, this is not in rank, but she's functioning close with them. You know what I mean? She's a sister who can handle some shit. You get the point? Because that's what, you know, you're going to need a sister who be able to navigate certain things. And housing strangers, it didn't say housing brothers. Said housing strangers, because the nation is huge. Yeah, I mean, the brothers who travel, I know Sawap came up from Trinidad, the Sawap hand. We had a Badawan here from Jamaica. You had the brothers from UK, Karafi, and them coming through. And, you know, this is your second time up, right? And both times, I think you end up in somebody's house. Did it matter who house you end up in? Nah. And the person who house you end up in, did it matter who you was? Nah, the shalom was the same. And it takes a certain amount of time to develop that level of hospitality, especially for a woman, because why? Go ahead. That too, she's more prone to being comfortable and carnal. And also mainly, she's more vulnerable than a man. And the vulnerability is going to make her antsy. But in most cases, it's something. But of course, over time, with serving with the brothers, she's going to get a certain amount of confidence. She's going to be able to read people. She read a situation. She don't want to go call the man, call her husband, call the officer in charge, because these strangers here, I hear them saying something. They might need this. They might need that. Hey, so where you coming from? Oh, you coming from up north? They probably might be cold. Let me get them some soup. They're coming from down south. They're hot. I need to get them some cold juice. She starts to really, you know, submerge herself in the whole spirit of being hospitable. You get the point? And over time, she begins to trust the Lord more and more, to where whoever walks through that door, if they have any ill thought towards her, she know they're gonna die. So she don't even have to worry. That thing comes with time. You get the point? So this is, Paul is giving him advice on the type of sister you want to employ in this thing. You don't, we get into it.
Diligently followed every good work.
If she has diligently followed every good work. Break that down for me. Come on. Are they saying stuff on the thing, or are you just hearing it? They're typing it? Okay, so is it still going on? No. Okay. She diligently followed every good work. What does that mean? Whoever had the answer, just had to speak up. She diligently followed every good work.
Basically, she carefully follows, and the key word is follow, that tells you orders.
See, come on, Warrior boy. Warrior boy, like a good beard, brother. You start giving them that spirit, brother. Like the key word is follow. She is yielding to be led. She ain't what? She ain't trying to cut me now. Trying to cut me now. You think you're smart. There's a problem with you niggas. Give you a little praise. You think you're in charge, Drake. You're right, Doc. She ain't free. She ain't trying to lead. She is being led. She's in this. Really, she's in the spirit of what's going on. She's in the spirit of it, and she's what does it say? So like having diligently followed every good work, following after, looking to make herself useful at all times, diligently, not hypocritical for likes or this or that. She's doing it genuinely for the nation. You get the point? She's doing it. She's doing this thing. Go ahead, keep going. Whoever was reading, you get somebody else. Go ahead, Shapali, you want to take it? All right, we had verse 11. So he outlined what type of sister you should bring in closer. This is not talking about accepting into the school in general. Anybody could come in. We're talking about this sister, you're going to damn near like embed her. Like how you sort of have people who embedded with soldiers. They're not a soldier, but they embedded there to be able to function with the soldiers. She going to damn near like she embedded with the priest. She rolled with the priest. There was a sister like that when Christ was born. She was an Asherite sister. Her name was Anna. And it said she served in the temple from the days of her youth after her husband died. No, not from the days of her youth. She had a husband from the time of her youth, and her husband died, and she never remarried, and she just worked in the temple. And she was there when they brought Christ in to be circumcised. Right? That's also a precept to prove not every single one of the 9.5 tribes went to the Americas. You get the point? Just like when we went into slavery, not every single last speck and drop, but in bulk, the bulk of us went. You get the point? Go ahead.
Timothy, chapter 5, verse 11. But the younger widows refused.
But the what?
Refused.
But the
younger widows. The younger widows refused.
I told you be up there calling them out, dog. I know you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For when they have begun to wax on against Christ, they will marry.
All right. But he's saying these younger widows, these younger women who don't have a husband, the husband died. Okay, because you just understand in Israel, once she get of a certain age, she's going to be courted and married. It's not like today's society. This is not like that. This is, at that time, the norm, you in your society is healthy, is growing up with the custom of it. It's similar to how them, if you want to see it amongst us, more so like, I know Levi do it heavy, and them tribes, them Hispanic tribes. them Latino tribes, you'll very rarely find a Hispanic sister who is a little bit older with kids and there's no man. They usually have a man from 15 and have a ton of kids and it's with him all the way through. With the heathens, you see it with them Arabs and them. But once she get 20, she don't pair up with a man and that's that. So now if she's at a young marriageable age still and she's single, something happened to the man. So that's why I say the younger widows. You get the point? Because you're not going to have a younger sister who is unmarried. That's just not our culture. You get the point? That's even with Laban and his daughters. Remember, he's trying to get people to take Leah. But they want the younger sister who is, to them, badder. You get the point? So time passing and nobody taking Leah. You get the point? Is our culture where once you become of right age, 18, 19, 20, you start, trying to pair her up, trying to have a court people. So by like 21, 22, she married and she locked in with that nigga. And that's it. They're sailing off. You get the point? Something could happen to him. He could die in war. He could do something evil against the Lord kill him like Nabal. Anything could happen to him. He die. She's still a young sister. Do not attempt to embed that sister. The younger ones, refuse them. They might be coming, sir, I just want to work. I'm heartbroken, blah, blah, blah. I hear you, sis. I hear you. I understand. Go ahead. No. That's not for them. That healing talk is for them hoes. Them hoes, that is healing. They got to heal because they're wounded. You only get wounded in war by dealing with many. Right? That's not for that. But the younger sisters refuse them. Why? For the younger sisters refuse.
When they have begun to wax wanton against Christ.
For when they begun to wax wanton. What does that mean? Let's look up wanton. Look up wanton. Give me the definition of wanton. I'm going to look it up with you. It's going to happen because she's young. And because she's younger, just like younger brothers, jumping bones is priority. Just Netflix and chill. Watch news and chill. Watch the commercial and chill. Anything and chill. It's just a not criteria, but it's something that comes with youth. So because of that, what you don't want to do, wisdom would tell you, this is a younger sister. Let her pair her with somebody right so she could get fire all the way until her age. And this brother could get pleased all the way until her age. You don't want to do two things. You don't want to now burden her with this thing when she's in a different stage in her life. And two, you don't want when she, you don't want her getting depressed over not having kids yet when she's watching the kids, like what we read about. You don't want her now entertaining strangers as she opens the door. Why won't you come in, sir? And really entertaining strangers because now she hot. You get the point? She's young. You get the point? She's not tempered with the marriage. The marriage is going to temper her because it's a union where it's like you could get it when you want. You understand what I'm saying? And that reduces a whole lot of compulsive urge. You understand? Like if you don't get food all the time, when you get money, are you buying just anything? You're going to buy something just because you don't eat all the time. You don't eat like that all the time. But if you could eat like that all the time, you ain't pressed to go out. Like, we going to, let's take me to Red Lobster. Because if you know what I could cook for you, you ain't going to go to no goddamn Red Lobster. You get the point? It's the psychology, not the psychology, but that's the natural progression of the marriage. The marriage would temper a lot of the spontaneous, I'm going to jump out there and do it. So with age, that would come, but because she's young, you want to get her into a marriage. And it's kindness to her sister. Down there, Paul is telling him, treat her like a daughter. You have a daughter, she's young, she's of marriageable age now. She ain't, trying to play with toys no more. She needs attention. A sister, she needs attention. That's how she's built. She needs attention. She needs affection. She needs that type of thing on a regular basis. In fact, also to give me Do I want that? Not really. She needs it, right? You don't want to now have her in the work. It's going to cause problems. It's going to cause problems. Let her just go marry and be a wife to somebody. You get the point? That's the stage of her life she's in. Let her go do that. Let her make babies that could now come either if it's brothers, they could be in the priesthood with you. If it's young sisters, they could be raised up for some brothers. Let her go do her duty. He doesn't want, he's advising to not have the younger sisters in there. They're not mature enough yet to handle that job. They could do another job. They're going to wax wanton. They're going to want to have sex. They're going to get frustrated easier, which is where you get the cruel stuff from. They're going to get frustrated easier. I don't have to tell you, we Israelites, a woman get frustrated really at any age. But I think it's a little bit easier when they're younger because they're not so much experienced. They tend to do a ton of dumb shit. Say a ton of dumb shit. You don't need that embedded with you. You understand? You don't need that thing going on there. It's just wisdom. Just let her go. You know, let her go live her life. Let her, it's kindness and wisdom, and it makes sense. You don't want, you know, you have now a whole age group of women that have a ton of degrees and the big house and the car, and they reach a stage now where they're not in the 20s no more, but they don't have a man. And that's an epidemic in the black community. And now they're starting to complain, and they're saying what? They're tired of this shit. I think even right now, they say mental health amongst black women is at the highest it's ever been. Because she's the weaker vessel. Let her go marry, man. What are you putting her through all this dumb shit for? Let her go marry. Now, that's not to say still don't go get qualified. Go get qualified and do all of that. But your fulfillment comes from that role with your husband. And all your needs going to be met. All the needs that really need to be met is going to be met there. And you could function, you know, learn as you go along. And soon you'll be able to really be an asset to the work. All right. So that's what he's saying there, Kudi brother. That's the verse, or we need more. Silaki, go ahead. Go ahead. Nice and loud, all right? So at least this going to hear you.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy, both in body and in spirit.
Right, the unmarried woman, she cares about the work. The one who is not bound to a man, she cares about, you know, what she could do in the work. You know, she could cook for the brothers, if she could do this, do that. Go ahead.
Okay. But she that is married careth for the things of the world, how she may please her husband.
Right, and that's just how life is. And it's not a sin, it's not bad.
Right.
But you have to understand where people is at in the stages in that life. You got to understand, you know, what's really going on with everybody. So now you could make the best decision. You could put the right people in the right position, you know what I mean, and get the most productivity out of it. So he's saying the unmarried people, they care about the things of the Lord. The married sister, she cares about her man, this, that, the other. And that's fine. And that's healthy. She should care about that brother. And if that brother is wise, he would now tie himself to the work so that, as the Bible says, her desire shall be his. Like what he want to do is further the work. So her mind is, how can I help this man further the work? Which is still a help. But you can't embed her though. You can't put her, you know, with the men to work so closely. She could work with her husband. She get a little older, she gets some experience under her belt. She understands the spirit of how things go. She can roll. You get the point? That's what this is saying here.
Like what makes it too, which is breaking down is so heavy. As you're speaking, I'm thinking about my experience growing up in church, being in church, and the church literally does the complete opposite of everything we read. Like the church is devoid of wisdom, whereas like you put, like you said, all these younger sisters in these positions, and it's not giving them an excuse to be holy.
And there's somebody putting them in these positions.
Exactly.
That's what happens. Somebody is literally putting them in them positions.
Meanwhile, you got all these older sisters that are not being put to, not necessarily put to work, but are idle because the focus is on making the doing the opposite of what we just read. Like
That's it.
It's where the Bible comes to life. Because as you described it, I'm comparing the school to the church, and I'm like, damn, this is. I got so many different examples of how we do that in here.
That's it. That's exactly it. And the older women in church so idle because they was once the young hoes. And now they're old and they're all sitting down there. You see her? Look at her. Because they can't compete with that young tail no more. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be they up there. The pastor, I'm seeing using the church example, of course. This brother want this and the brother want that, and I need to cook this. Sis, you mind mopping the floor, something. And then the young says, hey, congratulations, sis, I heard you got married. When's the baby? Oh, he coming along. And they could pass on, baby experience. So, oh, you getting morning sickness? Well, I used to drink this tea at night, and you should do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. That's how it's supposed to be. But it ain't like that. It ain't like that no more. It's, madam, old hoe and young hoe. Get the point? That's really what's going on in the church. Is the opposite of this, which right, Christianity is so satanic.